All right, welcome back everybody to episode 2 of my 2-unit challenge series for Age of Wonders 3, where it's me versus 5 allied AI Emperor level opponents, and I'm only allowed to use 2 military units for the entire game. In episode 1, I provided a setup including the map parameters, the rule set that I'm using for this, and I explained the rules involved for this challenge, why I chose the Dwarf Warlord race and class combination, and all the other kind of setup stuff you'd need to know about this challenge. So here we go. So it looks like I'm bottom left corner of the map, so likely my 5 AI opponents are out there above or underground, I'm not sure. Here's my starting Dwarf Warlord, so the defense and resistance and health. In terms of this stone skin, that's an excellent spell to start with. One of the reasons I chose the Earth Adept. That will really help with battles, and this is also pretty excellent too. +5 melee, overwhelm, and strong will for the spirit resistance. So that's pretty great. And then here is so a Dwarf Rogue. I think Dwarf is good, although I might have liked some diversity of race for this, just for different situations. But I think the alternate damage channel on that is good. I'll have to, okay, let's accept her first. Join me. Okay, so let's see, what do you have? This is good. All right, damage dealing is good. That, I hardly use this. I sometimes use this, but Rain Poison Blades is great. 12 and 10 again. Backstab from being the rogue, of course, that can be useful. Mountaineering, both of them are dwarfs, so that will help with getting through mountains faster. Both of them have blight protection. This stuff is fairly useless for me. Yeah, so I think a decent hero. The thing I like about rogues is their Shadow Step spell to get the +40, I think, physical protection. That's really strong, especially when paired with the Warlord's upgrade for 20% toughness for everybody, which in this case will be the leader and the hero. So whoever has the shadow form spell on them will have really good physical resistance. And I also love the total awareness that rogues have, as well as the assassin strike for some heavy damage. But the total awareness to stop from getting flanked, particularly useful when you're facing against machines where you can't, they won't attack you and you can't use the lifesteal tireless gimmick. You have to attack, which means leaving your flank open, and if it's just 2 units versus a bunch of them, they can just flank you to death, right, by surrounding you. So the total awareness, I think, is really great for being ready to not take too much damage after having committed to an attack against a machine you're trying to take down. So those are some of the things I like about Rogue, and so definitely better than something like Halfling. Yeah. So, like the challenge says, this is a 2-unit challenge. So I can only have 2 military units, and whenever I find myself with more than 2 military units, I've got to disband the rest. That's what I'm doing, disbanding these guys right off the bat. So I'm only starting with these 2 units, and to successfully win battles with just 2 units, I'll have to do some easy stuff. This is a pretty good starting one. I should be able to take them out, especially with 2 ranged units who won't get up in my face. So the strategy will be a lot of taking on campsites that have just 3 units early on, like this. The priest can do a fair bit of damage. But that will be the gist. I like starting with the mana, because the mana will be pretty essential for all the spells I'll be throwing out. And I'll likely start with a Builder's Hall. I'm trying to plow through Laboratory to Observatory to Item Forge and get item forging as quickly as possible, because I want to kit out both of my heroes with excellent items as fast as humanly possible, as fast as my resources will allow. I'll probably also want to take a shrine early just to help with the early mana stuff, but I'm not going to be doing Shooting Hall, Warhouse, Storehouse, Arena, Gladiator Pit. Any other of those lines of upgrades are not going to be relevant to me. I'm going to leave this city undefended, which means I have to clear like a 16 hex radius above ground, perhaps underground, depends on the cave structure, so that roaming units will not be able to make it this far and take my capital, which I must leave undefended because these two folks have to go out and kill stuff. They can't be ever defending headquarters, so I might do a loop and then set out, but I want to make sure things are cleared around it. And like the rule set said, I can build builders to help do some exploration and build some stuff and that sort of thing. So the nature of this challenge series, how I'm going to record these is episode 1 was a setup episode. Episode 2, this episode, is the first turn. And so what I do is I will record episodes every 3, 5, 8 turns or so when I have interesting stuff to recap, right? So I'll just open up the event history and go through, show you key battles, tell you what was interesting from those battles, and talk about key decisions and events that happened after each set of turns. And so what I'm going to do here is pause, complete my first turn, and then I will talk about the cool stuff that happened in this first turn. And then for remaining episodes, I'll do recap videos every X turns or so to talk about what interesting stuff was happening. And these kind of further episodes will focus on important battles, troop movement, spells and upgrades acquired, hero, skill upgrade, point investment choices, item forge choices, strategy decisions, that sort of stuff. So if you're looking for a challenge series, video series where you see me make turn decisions in real time and see my moment by moment experience, my 40 turn head start challenge video series was one such one. The video editing was a little choppy because I had to do a lot of starting and stopping. But that's one where you can see me record every single second of it rather than recap videos. But the nice thing about these recap series is that it's time friendly. You know, it tends to be 5 to 20 minutes an episode, so you can hear about the good stuff. So yeah, so I am going to pause here and I'll see you at the end of the turn. Okay, we're back recording. Now back off pause. So what do we do? So came down here this way with them. I saw the second battle opportunity. There's some dangerousness here. I think I can do it, but I wanted to heal up a bit first. So let's quickly check out how the first battle went. So I'm gonna do split, which is common strategy. So start with some melee or some range damage here. Try and split them. So he'll be running the hell away, and this is easy to take them out. So there goes one down with just a little bit of damage taken. And now I'm going to continue to kite, but can go in on melee with the ranged person. So she unfortunately has taken a bit of damage, but now I'll use structures to kite the melee. Just try and soak up as much experience as possible and just keep dancing using the better movement of our mounted units against the slower movement of the swordsman. So you get the picture. So I just rinse and repeat that. And that's how that went. This will be a little bit more challenging. But what other stuff do we need to talk about? So working on the Builder's Hall. Was thinking about rushing it, but I don't have enough gold, so can't do. This is useless since I'm limited. I will want to do this once I have enough of a mana cushion, but this will be good to start spamming. This I don't need because my heroes don't cost money, and I'm working on Last Stand, as this is a big priority spell for keeping heroes alive and tanky during battles in a situation like ours. This will also be another priority. Going into scout training soon so I can get to Master Cartographer eventually will be good. This is great, but I don't want to have my units going down to half health. I'm going to have to wait a little bit before this can be a viable thing. Eventually would want to go through Seafaring into Advanced Logistics to help them get lots of movement, and then of course Warfare points are essential. The rest of the stuff that is important. So that's where we're at. So from here on out, starting with next episode, episode 3, I will record every several episodes or so to do a recap of what happened in those last few episodes and show you the highlights. So look forward to seeing you in episode 3. I hope you're finding this interesting so far. And it's only going to get crazier as I get into some really sticky battles. So see you in episode 3.